Can you survive on minimum wage in America in 2020? Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and this is a very important question to ask and to know. And I want to make sure that you stick to the end because I do have a solution if you are in that trap of minimum wage. Now, for the most people that don't know how our money is printed and who controls our money, their solution, which comes to their mind, is we need to raise the minimum wage. We need to raise the minimum wage. And which sounds like the best solution. But if you don't know how the mousetrap works, that's the solution that's going to choke you out. What do I mean by the mousetrap? Well, while me and you may work and trade our time for a fake fiat dollar, there are bankers that are printing this fake dollar with the press of a button on a printing machine. So as most of us will trade our time, go to work, sit in traffic, deal with the boss that we don't like, maybe deal with customers we don't like, not see our kids, not be our dreams, because we're chasing the dollar. The bankers are printing it with a click of the button, and it's called the Federal Reserve. Now, in the Constitution, when the Founding Fathers created it, they knew the power of bankers, and they did not allow the printing of money from bankers. In the Constitution, gold and silver was what our true money should be. But down the line, the bankers created booms and busts in the economy intentionally. So with the fear of the depression, the bankers bought all the lawmakers, in a sense, through lobbyists, to amend the Constitution for the Fed, which is a privately owned institution of bankers, to print money. And now the Fed, in a sense, owns Big Brother, and together they've created what's called the petrodollar, which is the situation where America went to Saudi Arabia and said, look, we want you to only accept the dollar, not the Canadians, not the franc, not the Swiss, not nothing. We just want you to accept the dollar whenever you sell oil. And because of Saudi Arabia's positioning in OPEC, they said yes. And because America was bankrupt, that's the only reason we went from gold-backed notes to fiat, which has no backing, because we were bankrupt, right? We were bankrupt, and countries were demanding their gold from our country, and the president needed to do something different, and he said, look, the dollar that's backed by gold is no longer, you can trade that currency in to get actual gold. So once that happened, the petrodollar became king, and that's why we have the world reserve currency. So what does all this have to do with minimum wage and how people can't live on minimum wage, and how the solution is not to raise the minimum wage? Because the more printing of money happens, the less punch the money has, like the power of the punch. In other words, the more they print money, the Fed, central bankers, the more diluted our Gatorade drink becomes. So it's like if you have a Gatorade bottle, you dump it all out, you leave this much of Gatorade and the rest is water. That's the same thing that's happened to the US dollar. It's lost over 95% of its value since its creation with Nixon, if I'm not mistaken, where they went from money backed by gold to money backed by faith. backed by nothing, faith. And so the more they print, the harder it is for the average American that's, getting minimum wage to survive. And the more they raise the minimum wage, which means the more they're going to print, okay, the more harder it is for the average American that's working on minimum wage to survive, because the cost of goods will also raise. Now, if the wages rose, but the cost of food didn't rise, or the cost of living didn't rise, then yes, that would be a solution. But it's never the solution. Once minimum wage is risen, as a small business owner, I got to pay my workers more. Therefore, I'm going to charge more for my customers. And this is very, very simple. When I owned my moving company for 14, 15 years, debt-free, then I started with $100 as a refugee. Every time minimum wage went up, I had to charge more to my customer. Not only did I charge the minimum wage, but now I have to charge more for the taxes that I have to pay for the employee. So, you know what? Every time minimum wage raises, the cost of food, moving company, real estate, office space, everything will raise. And that's why the working class are in a trap, in a circle, because no matter how much the minimum wage goes up, the politicians just do that two-step, or that takes this two-step just for show. It's just to show, like, hey, we love our workers, we love our people in our state, and therefore we're changing the laws to demand small businesses to pay a little bit more. You know what? And, it's a real burden for small businesses also, because it basically makes small businesses go extinct. So raising the minimum wage is not only bad for the people earning minimum wage, but also it hurts the small businesses, which now creates more problem for the person earning minimum wage, because there's less competition. Only the elite corporations are there, and all the small guys are now out. So the solution, right, is multidimensional, but I think the very best solution for anyone that's wanting minimum wage is, and this is not financial advice, but in my opinion, is to start a side business. I know it's going to be hard to go work 40 hours and then come home and do a side business, but it's way better than watching TV, the newspapers, the sports games, because that, you're wasting your time. That, you're watching someone else be their dreams, and that's never going to get you out of the rat race. If you want to get out of the rat race, then you got to take more risk. I mean, the simplest is, what you don't want to do is what you got to do. Risk means you could get punched in the face, right? But at the same time, you can get your hands raised as the winner. So, my opinion, not financial advice, is that if people are minimum wage, instead of trying to get a second job or a third job, I mean, golly, the first job didn't make it. Why would anyone get a second job or a third job? And it always blows me away, because I see people trying to get 2 jobs and 3 jobs, and I'm thinking, why don't you do a side business? Well, many people say, hey, well, Mike, I don't have experience. Hey, Mike, I don't have money. Hey, Mike, I don't have good credit. Hey, Mike, I don't want to get into debt to start a business. Hey, Mike, I can't risk it. I got wife and kids. And trust me, I know all that, right? I have wife and kids, and I just voluntarily donated all my stuff, well, most of my stuff, to the homeless people, and starting all over myself, and I sleep on an air mattress, right? And I'm making my dreams come true. Now, the secret, in my opinion, is that people should start their own business. And one great idea that I have that works is something that I'm using right now to stack my chips up, because, like I said, I've just given up all my stuff, almost all my stuff, to the homeless. Yeah, I have this car, but man, I used to have multiple cars, multiple jet skis, not to seem any cool, but I wasn't happy, guys. No matter how much wealth I had 3 businesses, rental houses, BMW bikes, Harleys, jet skis, ATVs. I mean, multiple, a lot of people working for me, and I could tell you, accumulation does not bring happiness, and that's why I decided to give all my stuff up. But that's a different story. But the one strategy that I use right now to build my money, to stack my chips, is called the new flip. All you need with the new flip is just $100 and some hustle. That's it. So, and your ability to risk. So if you have the ability to risk your $100, right, and follow instructions, the new flip allows you to get into a business, create your own business with only $100 startup capital. And here's the greatest part: you can have 200x returns all the way up to 700x returns really, really fast. What do I mean really, really fast? Well, just yesterday, I did the new flip, and I invested $200, and I made $600, guys. And I made $600 in 2 hours, literally 2 hours. That's the fastest I moved. I did a deal. I put 200 and got 600. It just blew me away. Blew Sarai away. She was like, "Wow." Now, normally it takes anywhere from 24 hours to maybe a week or two for me to move a unit. But usually I like to move the units in 7 days or less. And I show you how to do it in the book. I show you in the new flip how to start a business with just $100 as a part-timer. If you want to do it full-time like me, I do it full-time because I don't want to have a job. I know I could create my own wealth, and I'm doing it again. I've just basically given up all my stuff to the homeless. I went homeless myself, and I'm coming back, and I'm in the trenches with you guys, showing you how to do it. Okay, I'm living it. I'm living an air mattress. And some of you guys say, "Well, Mike, you have a nice $100,000 car you're driving." Well, yeah, one time I did own this, and I still own this. But all the other stuff I have is given away, right, to the homeless. And I am in the trenches just like you guys, right? Now, I did keep a little stuff, but 15 years of working my ass off, and just giving up my riches. I don't know anyone in America that has done that, guys, because I'm so confident that America is such a great country. I'm so confident that the skills that I have is what made me money, and it wasn't my accumulations of businesses, rental properties, and I could do it again. And I want to be in the trenches with you guys to teach you that, hey, even if you're homeless, this is like I just came from being homeless, if you're living in your car, if you have a good job but you're just in debt, if you just want to be an entrepreneur, if you hate your job, then there are other ways. If you're in making minimum wage, there are other ways. And what I'm doing is called the new flip, where I invest $100 and I get 200 to 700 returns super fast, usually in 48 to 7 days. It may take a little bit longer, but normally it's that fast. Okay, I've done many deals, more than I can count on my fingers, where I put $100 in it in like 48 hours or less. I was able to 5x it, or 4x it, or 3x it, which means I put $100 and I made 500. I put $100, I made 400 very fast. Now, not only have I done it, my students have done it. If you go to my blog, My Real Estate Dojo, and just type in the new flip, you'll see one of my students, Victor, did 8 flips in 4 weeks, guys. 8 flips in 4 weeks. That's like 2 deals a week that he's flipping in 2x, 5x in his money, right? So anyone can do it. Now, I think that's the best way to go versus having a job with minimum wage and then get another job, and because with minimum wage jobs, or with the job, there's a ceiling. That's the highest you can go. With the new flip, the more you hustle, the more money you make. Right? If you're willing to hustle. And what I mean by hustling is very, very simple. I use the newest way. You sit behind your computer or your phone or your laptop. It's a copy and paste job. You just message people. Once they respond, you go out there and you give them the $100. You pick up this thing. I show you how to resell it right off, again, right through your computer. So there's no cold calling. There's no marketing. You don't have to spend any money in marketing. There's no cost for capital. You don't need no tools. This is not a multi-level marketing. This is not some kind of, it's something that I use myself and it works, and I'm just blown away from it, because I created that through my imagination. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that there's a lot of debtpreneurs out here. A lot of debtpreneurs. And debtpreneurs because they have all the flashy stuff and they're not willing to give it away. I'm a true entrepreneur. I listen to my dreams. I listen to my heart. and I manifested. And that's why I'm the alchemist, because I manifest my wants and desires, my soul's purpose into reality. And that's why I was able to donate majority of my stuff to the homeless. And I wasn't scared to go homeless, right? Like Buddha did or Jesus did. I don't recommend that for anyone. It's extremely hard, guys. Extremely hard. Not taking baths every day, living in your car, living in campsites. But, I needed to find happiness because I did what was told to me, which is go to high school, go to college. I started a business. It was a success. I made millions from it. I started another business. It was a success. It was a brokerage firm. I had people older than my grandparents working for me. Then I started buying rental houses, subject to where the seller becomes my bank, where I didn't have to go to banks because I hate banks, and that was a success. But I wasn't happy, and that's why I'm trying to tell you guys that many of us think that more money is going to make us happy or it's going to be the solution, and it's not. And I don't know what it is for you. And the reason I give my stuff is to go pursue why accumulations didn't make me happy. And what I realized is that being my dreams and helping you guys really truly makes me happy. And that's why I do this, and I've been doing it since 2013, and doing things untraditional. Everyone wants to get money from a hard money lender, or everyone wants to put it on their credit cards or borrow money. But America's such a great country that you can do it with just no money. $100, dude. I mean, Jesus, $100. If you don't have $100, then just get a job and save your money. But $100, I don't know any business. I mean, if you want to start a Subway, McDonald's, any business. You want to have a cleaning business, you want to be a personal trainer, you want to be a massage, you want to flip car, whatever, you're going to need a lot of money, like at least $5 grand, $3 grand, $500,000, even more, right? But this shows you the power of creativity, the power of alchemists, the power of America, where with the $100 you can get 500% returns, ROI. You put 100 and you put $500 out, and you can do it from the comfort of your computer using the newest technology, just through your laptop, your phone, and you don't have to do any sales. You don't have to do any cold calling. You don't have to spend no money in marketing. You don't need a website. You don't need business cards. You don't need a shirt. You don't need a car wrap. All you need to do is read, take action, and willing to risk $100. Yes, I say risk because you can lose your $100 if you do it wrong. But guess what? If you lose the $100, is way better than getting into debt and starting a business and losing it. It's way better than borrowing money from a credit card and then realizing you couldn't do your business. But on the other hand, you have the possibility of making 7x returns, 700% returns. That's the max I've done. I challenge you to get more and come to my YouTube channel and explain your successes. Now, if any of you guys have already done the new flip and you had successes, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. Let's motivate other people, guys. But to wrap it up, can someone live with minimum wage in America today? I don't think so, because rent is so expensive. The price of inflation is catching on so fast that it's hard to someone to live. It's hard for someone with a college degree to live. That's why you see people with college degrees with mama and dad works, and they still are not enough. They still put it into their credit cards. So to summarize it up, I don't think you can live off minimum wage, and I don't even think you can live off a college degree these days, because mama got to work, daddy got to work, and credit cards got to be used. So today it's hard to be a working class, middle class, unless you're okay with getting into eyeballs of debt, because middle class is not even making it because they have so much debt. Now, phantomly, they feel good because they look at their stocks and like, oh, it's going up, my 401k is going up, or they look at their houses that they own and they look like they have equity, but it's phantom. It's phantom, because at any time, the central bankers, the Fed, can contract their credit, the lines of credit, contract the printing of money, which crashes the stocks, and all that phantom gain is lost. And that's why I don't like bankers, because I see over and over they make the people feel like they're rich, but it's all on paper. And when they want to monetize it, that's when the crash happens. A very small amount of people are able to actually capitalize on their equity on their home. It just looks like it's going up, then boom, comes down a crash. And so that said, thanks for watching, guys. If you got some value, click the like button If you didn't like the video, go ahead and click the like button anyways, guys. I have much love for you. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think minimum wage can pay for people's lives in America. Peace.